Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Nicole Tuminelli. I am the Assistant Dean of Recruitment and External Relations for the School of Health Professions and Human Services at Hofstra University. And today I'll be discussing our graduate programs in the Counseling and Mental Health Professions Department. The program encompasses several programs. We have school and college student development counseling, mental health counseling and addiction counseling, creative arts therapy counseling, marriage and family therapy, and rehabilitation counseling programs. And I'll go through each of those. The first program I'll discuss is the MA in mental health counseling. And a mental health counselor can counsel individuals, families, and groups and address mental health concerns like depression, anxiety, substance abuse, eating disorders, loss, career and academic decision-making, stress management, disruptive behaviors and transitions in aging, etc. They work in several different settings listed there on the right-hand side. And what's important to note is that this program prepares you for eligibility to open up a private practice in New York State. So this is a licensure eligible program. It's 60 credits. If you were to go through the program full time, it would take you about 2.5 years. It does include an internship, and it is accredited by the Council for Accreditation of Counseling and Related Educational Programs, or CACREP. So upon graduation, you are given a limited permit, which allows you to work under the supervision of a licensed mental health counselor. You would need to complete an additional 3,000 hours in order to qualify for full licensure in New York State, which would enable you to open up a private practice if you wished. We also offer an MSED in counseling, which has 2 tracks. One is the school counseling track, also commonly known as a guidance counselor, who would help students within a K through 12 setting develop social skills and succeed in school. And you would take on consultative roles with parents, teachers, and administrators as important stakeholders in the school community. So again, this is a K through 12 program. So you would be able to work in elementary schools, middle schools, or high schools that are either public or private. The other track within the program is the College Student Development Counselor track, and this would prepare you to work in a higher ed setting, like colleges and universities, within a college career services center, university advisement, admissions, student affairs, etc. So you would work with students as they transition into and out of college life. This program is 42 credits, and again, it could result in school counselor certification K through 12 or prepare you to be a college student development specialist. Full-time, the program can be completed in about 2 years. It also includes a practicum and an internship. Generally speaking, all of these programs can be completed full-time or part-time. We also offer an advanced certificate in addiction and substance abuse, which fulfills the educational requirements for the Credentialed Alcoholism and Substance Abuse Counselor, or the CASAC. So the advanced certificate can be completed if you have a bachelor's degree as a standalone program, or if you have a master's degree as a standalone program, or within matriculated studies in some of our graduate programs. A substance abuse counselor advises people actively addressing their substance use and provides treatment and support. We also offer an MA in creative arts therapy counseling, and a creative arts therapist uses art and the creative process to assist their client in exploring their feelings and reconciling emotional conflict. So it's either the act of creating the artwork for the client is therapeutic, or creating the artwork and then speaking about it is therapeutic. The program focuses on visual arts, so clay, sculpture, drawing, painting, and a creative arts therapist can work with individuals and groups. We do offer electives in other expressive therapies, but this program does focus on visual arts. And a creative arts therapist can work in various settings like hospitals, wellness centers, senior communities, crisis centers, and again, private practice is an option. So this is a 60 credit program. It is approved by the American Art Therapy Association and does include an internship and practicum. Upon graduation, students can apply for a limited permit, the first step towards gaining a license in New York State. And then again, there's 1,500 hours post-graduation that would need to be completed under the supervision of a licensed creative arts therapist in order to qualify for full licensure. We also offer an MA in marriage and family therapy, and a marriage and family therapist can work with couples and families to explore and improve conflict resolution skills in relationships. So a marriage and family therapist takes more of a systems approach versus an individualistic approach. And a marriage and family therapist can work in, again, numerous settings, including private practice. This is a 54 credit program, also includes an internship. And what's unique about this program is that the 300 hours that the student completes during their internship counts towards the 1,500 client contact hours completed post-graduation. So that's unique to this program. It's not the case for the others. So there's only 1,200 hours that would need to be completed post-graduation to be eligible for licensure. We offer a few programs in rehabilitation counseling. A rehabilitation counselor mainly works with people with disabilities to participate fully in society and achieve personal and vocational goals and overcome and manage the effects of disabilities on employment or independent living. One of the programs is MSED in rehabilitation counseling. This is 51 credits, and this prepares students for national certification in rehabilitation counseling. The other programs are state licensure. This is national certification. We also offer a combined program with rehabilitation counseling and mental health. This is a 60 credit program and not only prepares students for national certification as a rehabilitation counselor, but also as a licensed mental health counselor in New York State. So this is a combination of the MSED in rehabilitation counseling and the MA in mental health counseling. Both of these rehab counseling programs are also accredited by CACREP. The career outlook for all of these areas is very good. U.S. News and World Report ranked mental health counselors, substance abuse counselors, and marriage and family therapists among the top 100 jobs for 2018. BLS reported employment of school counselors, mental health counselors, substance abuse counselors, marriage and family therapists, and rehabilitation counselors is expected to grow faster than average for all occupations in coming years. And ONET lists employment for school counselors, mental health counselors, substance abuse counselors, marriage and family therapists, and rehabilitation counselors as having a bright outlook. A great way to network while you're in the program is to get involved, and one way to do that is to join the student clubs. So Chi Sigma Iota is the Counseling Honor Society, and then all of the individual programs have their own clubs. They meet a couple times during the course of the semester. They get involved in the community. They host conferences. They have guest speakers who are alumni or professionals in the field come to their club meetings. So these are ways that the current students can get connected to professionals in the field and hopefully contact them post-graduation, either in assistance in looking for a job or for help or for supervision for their post-graduation hours. It also gives some insight as to what they're in for after graduation. All applications are submitted online, and it can be accessed through hofstra.edu/grad apply in the Hofstra University graduate application. All transcripts from anywhere that you've attended should be uploaded to the application. So these are unofficial transcripts. The programs look for, around a 3.0 GPA, but they really do a holistic review. So all pieces that you do submit are reviewed and considered. Personal statement essay should be about 1.5 pages to 2 pages, double-spaced, explaining your relevant career goals, interests, and experiences. Why do you want to be this particular type of counselor? What's led you here, and what are your goals? The application does not require a resume, but it's always good to include it as well. International students do require TOEFL or IELTS scores, and then you may or may not be called in for an interview depending on if the program includes that in their requirements. The MSED counseling program requires the GRE, but again, it's more of a comparative measure to the rest of your application during their holistic review. And the Creative Arts Therapy counseling program does require an art portfolio, which should have between 15 and 20 pieces displaying your experience and your artwork. So you do not necessarily have to be an artist to apply and be admitted to the Creative Arts Therapy Counseling program, but it does require prereqs in studio art, 18 semester hours of studio art, and then along with the other programs in this department, prereqs are required in psychology. We have rolling admissions, so there is not a particular deadline for fall and spring admission. We accept applications up until right before the start of the semester, but the earlier you apply, the longer the program director has to review your application, bring you in for an interview if they require it, get your decision out, and then you have some time to get registered for classes. All graduate applications are automatically reviewed for merit-based scholarships. So the earlier you apply, the better. You can apply for financial aid as well, which would come in the form of loans. And all matriculated students have the ability to apply for graduate assistantship positions, which are part-time jobs on campus that pay in the form of tuition remission. So you would have access to apply to these types of jobs after you were admitted to the program through the Hofstra portal. The programs offer classes in the evenings, so it allows you to work during the day if you need to do so. A 6-credit class would meet twice a week, and a 3-credit class would meet once a week. So if you have any other questions, the program directors for the individual programs are listed here, as well as mine. I invite you to visit our Facebook page for any updates in the programs, the fields, and student news, and I look forward to hearing from you.